Welcome everybody to another episode of Bob Bitchin' 66, where today we are taking Mini Coopers around the Blue Moon Bay Speedway. It is an oval, but not quite an oval. We're on the road track for this race, so there are a couple turns, but a lot of wide banks because of the nature of the oval on this track. So I'm starting out here in 7th, and as you can see with Mini Coopers, especially production level, we're going to have a lot of understeer, and that can be clearly seen as turn 1, we all end up riding towards the very outside of the lane. So I try to take an inside lane purely because I just want to avoid the mayhem that's happening behind me. And I'm going to be able to grab a couple positions, so I'm coming in 4th here. And coming into this turn 2, you really want to ride inside. It's easy to get a lot of weight going towards the grass right there, which is why we saw so many cars go into the edge of the track, just like me, as I kind of take a wide lane on the track, which luckily isn't going to give me a penalty. And I am going to actually hold quite a bit of speed coming out of there. I'm doing just fine in my 3rd position. Here we've got a horseshoe style hairpin turn where it's a very long bank. You really got to be careful about where you choose to accelerate out of that. I go a little bit past the 3/4 mark, and here we've got two little kinks. So the tarmac on the ground actually is a very good indicator of where to go, and this is actually the last turn essentially of the track right here. You kind of want to clip it inside. I downshift by the 50-meter mark, and I come in right over the curb and right back onto the oval part of the track. So here you just want to hug the inside, as you should hopefully know when it comes to oval tracks. Turns, you go on the inside, straights you head towards the outside. I stay in the middle here because I'm trying to grab some draft in the car, and this is where I really need a miracle. I really need something big to happen, and by golly, it's going to happen right here as we come into this turn. As Moses did before me, I choose to part the Red Sea. I carry all my weight into this, and bam! We go all out. I go deep inside, through the middle. It's a miracle! I can't believe it!
It's working! It's working!
I'm able to take first, but wait a second, it's not over yet. Second place comes barreling towards the inside. I try to take the outside line, and he goes slamming right into the guardrail. I keep my line, trying to not to feel the pressure behind me. He's going to try some maneuver here, and he does not work it out. He ends up right back in the wall, and I'm ending up with a fantastic lead in this race. Unheard of. I did not think I would have any chance at grabbing first in this race, but we've got 2 laps to go, and I'm going to try to not feel the pressure. Luckily, it's not going to be me that stops them from ever catching up. As you see, they're going 3 wide into that turn, and no good things come from 3 cars battling it out throughout a turn. I take this a little clip on the inside. I try not to get a penalty because I'm just nervous that behind me they're going to be coming up, but as you can see, they're having plenty of their own problems as I just try to come out of lap 2 doing fine. So just dodge the outside there, and I come inside on the oval. It's going to be a smooth sailing from this point forward, hopefully with no gains behind me. But as it is right now, second place, as you can see, has that penalty behind me, and it's going to be a pretty easy race from here on out, as long as I don't feel the pressure and I don't fall under any duress. I'm going to be honest, throughout here, this race is going to become pretty much me really trying to make sure I've got a handle on this track and not going to ruin things. And we're going to take a look towards the end to see what really went wrong with these cars behind me and why they're just having so much trouble backing up. So let's just take a look going through this race. You want to come through this turn here. I don't go too far towards the outside, but I do get a good line here. The best thing right there is doing that late apex right there, where you can just clip the inside of that turn and come out without touching the grass and hold this left lane until you come up to the hairpin. So you just want to round the hairpin, really following the tarmac lines, honestly, and that's essentially the inside apex right there. Just coming out here, and you got to make a quick shift under the right side of the track where you can pull left, stay consistent through these kinks, and don't get close to the curb like I just did. I get a little bit on the grass there, but overall, that's all there is to this track. Really, the biggest battle is fighting the production car nature of the Mini Cooper. If you don't know, production cars essentially do not have the gearbox of Group 3 or Group 4 race cars in Gran Turismo. And with that, especially because I'm not running traction control, a lot of the time there's going to be a lot of wheel spin, but that doesn't essentially mean that I should be shifting up. I try to really control the throttle as well as I can, but I've got a massive gap in front of me, and really this is a good time to just kind of show off how I do this. So here you see I downshift into third a bit, and I kind of let the weight of the transmission essentially slow my car down until I'm at an optimal speed where I can go into fourth. Even right there, I'm not even getting close into the high RPMs with fourth, but I'm really utilizing the downshifts here to get around turns, because that helps shift the weight of the car, and as soon as you put on the throttle, it's just going to go perfectly straight. So when it comes to getting around those turns, really utilizing the transmission is going to be your best bet. And you'll see that best actually coming through this hairpin turn. So here I do downshift into second because I just want to make sure I'm not going to go too wide. I want to stay inside and get this cut. So you'll see here I keep shifting into second, and I don't go to third until I've actually kind of redlined it for a while. Downshift into second through here to keep this, and same here, I really rev it up in second gear just to get the speed up, because I know that this car could get to essentially 65, 70 miles an hour in second gear and then go to third. So that's really what it is to this production car, and lucky for me, I was able to have a flawless race once I figured that out. It took a couple tries. I had 3 races before. I think it was a 6th and a 5th finish, but who could have known that I would have had, such great luck to get a pole position on this. So great to finish in first place. You can see here I have quite the significant gap between the cars behind me, a 3.6 second lead on front, and penalties galore. Let's take a look at what happened with that turn here. So as you can see, they definitely got in a little bit of a scuffle, and I just held my line, making sure to not understeer too much, and I wanted to keep traction under my wheels at all times. So with that, I took the slower speed just to make sure I had that traction. And behind me, it's really these turns that got all 3 of them condensed, which definitely shows that when it comes to battling cars, you just lose so much time in the battle for a position. So second place rams right into the wall there, and we've got a penalty to serve here. And if we come forward through this hairpin, I think this was really the biggest moment that stopped them. So as I come through on this left turn, you can see that second and third kind of getting a little closer there, but fourth coming in as well. It just knocks them into the grass, slows everyone down, and when there's so much conflict in so many cars, and especially in production cars, you're going to see that. There's just no way to avoid it. So it's my 3rd victory, a first place finish, and it feels great. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give a like, subscribe, and leave a comment what you thought about the race, what you thought about my maneuvers, and I will see you next week on the track.